Chapter 1, Becoming a Surfer. Fade in. Exterior. Any beach. Morning. 1976. A mother and her child are on the beach. They are near the shoreline. The ocean is exceptionally clear and blue with golden highlights from the sunrise. Glassy 6 to 8 foot waves are breaking one after the other. They are the only ones on the beach. Art Duran is a 10-year-old boy, trim in figure, mop-style 70s haircut, and has an easy-going demeanor. He's like a sponge, soaking up the nature around him and all the experience life has to offer. He is wearing cut-off jeans with frayed edges, which doubles as a bathing suit. Art is completely enthralled in the sandcastle he's building. Sally Duran is sitting in a lawn chair underneath the beach umbrella. She is reading a book and occasionally looks at her son with a loving gaze. He is sitting close to the water's edge. He is making his castle when the surfer approaches as a towering figure and stands next to Art. He has an unzipped beaver tail wetsuit top, which reveals his ripped surfer muscles and puka shell necklace. He is the quintessential 70s surfer with sun-bleached mid-length hair and a dark tan. He has a 1970s light blue single-fin surfboard with a picture of a large wave airbrushed on the deck. He sets the surfboard in the sand next to Art. Art stops building his sandcastle and watches with curiosity as the surfer waxes his board. The surfer then stares out into the ocean as he would stare into the eyes of a girl he has fallen in love with. He picks up the surfboard and gives Art a smile and a nod. The surfer enters the water. He picks up speed, vaults horizontally belly first onto his board, and glides on the water. He effortlessly begins to paddle out to the waves. He is at peace with nature and the universe. Through his actions, he pulls Art into his world, the surfing world. The surfer is paddling out towards the lineup. The 6 to 8 foot waves in front of him are pitching out perfectly with an offshore spray. As the white water approaches, he sinks himself and the board underwater. As the turbulence of the wave passes over him, he ascends back to the surface. With one long whipping motion from his head, he flicks his hair back, lets out a relaxing breath of air, and continues paddling. Art is sitting on the beach in front of his sandcastle. He is mesmerized by the surfer. Watching intently, Art never takes his eyes off of him. The surfer drops into an 8-foot wave, does a long drawn-out bottom turn, and maneuvers his board to the middle of the wave. He moves slightly to the center of the surfboard. The surfboard picks up speed as he glides down the middle of the face. He heads for the trough, does another bottom turn, heads straight up the wave, and does an off the lip. The off the lip sends a rooster tail spray. The wave begins to pitch out, and he slows his board down. He sets up for the tube ride as the water pitches over him. He is completely covered by the wave. All of a sudden, he comes shooting out of the tube like a cannonball. The surfer exits the wave and paddles back out. Sally lifts her head from out of the book. She glances over to Art, who is staring out into the ocean. She looks towards the ocean to see what has captivated Art's attention so deeply. She sees the surfer trimming down another wave. Sally looks back at Art and realizes that's what he is staring at. The surfer is sitting on his board in the ocean. He is looking at a line of pelicans gliding by with wings spread wide. The pelicans are surfing the air currents caused by the offshore spray of the waves. The surfer senses a wave approaching and looks at the oncoming set. With an ecstatic look, he glances back up at the pelicans one last time, then back down to his surfboard. He drops in and surfs the wave with grace and elegance. As time passes, the surfer catches a final wave, rides it to perfection, and paddles to shore. He walks past a washed-away sandcastle, stops, and looks at Art. Art looks up at him in awe. The surfer smiles at Art and gives him another nod. This is the seminal moment when Art knows he wants to be a surfer. Dissolve 2. End of Chapter 1, Becoming a Surfer. This is Mark, the author of The Bond Between Surfers. I'm creating a surfing grassroots effort to make this book into a feature-length film. Help support the project by purchasing the book, ebook, or audiobook. All proceeds will go to funding the film. Then one day, you'll be sitting in the movie theater, looking up at the big screen, and you can proudly say, I bought the book and made this movie. For more info, check out my website, tbbsurf.com. Thanks for your support.